Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5 best desktop workstations. Starting at number 5. Mac Mini M1. If you're fussy about using your own display and peripherals, but you like the Apple ecosystem, then the Mac Mini has been updated to feature the same M1 chip that features in the 24-inch iMac, making performance between the two almost identical. Even though the Mac Mini is quite a bit cheaper, this pint-sized secret weapon runs macOS, just like Apple's other computers. Which means any graphic design app you can use on the iMac, you can use on the Mac Mini. And its size means you can throw it into a bag for portability just like a laptop. Sure, you need to buy a monitor for it, or use one you already own. So it's not quite as neat and tidy on a desk as an all-in-one. But that gives you some freedom to buy a graphic design optimized display to further improve your projects. The base model features the Apple M1 chip with 8-core CPU and 16-core neural engine, with 256GB SSD. And there are 4 expansion ports at the back for either USB or Thunderbolt external storage, plus HDMI 2.0 to simultaneously support 2 displays. You can read our full hands-on M1 Mac Mini review for more information. Coming at number 4. Mac Studio. Apple's computers are hugely popular among creative professionals who need all the computing power they can get. And the Mac Studio is the latest model aimed at exactly this crowd. Powered by either an Apple M1 Max chip or a cutting-edge M1 Ultra chip, essentially 2 M1 Mac chips welded together. Depending on user preference, the Mac Studio can be configured to be one of the most powerful computers Apple has ever created. When we reviewed the freshly released Mac Studio, we were immediately impressed by how little space it took up. Thanks to its compact chassis, it essentially looks like a stacked Mac Mini, see below. We were also extremely pleased to discover how energy efficient it proved to be. If you're doing a little less than all that, this is probably more power than you need. The M1 Max version of the Mac Studio costs $1,999. While the M1 Ultra version may offer double the power, but that also bumps it up to double the price. At $3,999. You probably don't need us to tell you that if you don't need to spend this much on a computer, you shouldn't. Still, if you do need the most powerful computer for graphic design around right now, here it is. At number 3. Microsoft Surface Studio. Not everyone wants to use Apple products. And Apple is certainly not the only game in town when it comes to graphic design computers. We really rate the Microsoft Surface Studio 2. A fantastic choice for Windows users who want a powerful machine for graphic designers. It boasts a few smart features that the big boys from Apple don't have. The Studio 2 can be configured to have up to 2 TB of SSD storage and 32 GB of RAM. The older quad-core processor from Intel does mean that the Surface Studio 2 is slower than its Apple rivals. And the GPUs also lag behind the iMacs. The Surface Studio 2 uses either an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 or 1070, which is plenty of power, but again offers less headroom than the iMacs. You can read our full hands-on Microsoft Surface Studio 2 review for more on our experience with the machine. Number 2 of my list. iMac 24-inch. The 2021 24-inch iMac uses Apple's own M1 processing chips. And with 8 cores and 16GB of processing power, it's not messing around. Everything looks gorgeous on the 4K Retina display. And the redesign of the exterior of the computer has made the whole affair a lot sleeker and more defined. So why doesn't it get our number 1 pick? After all, our review was absolutely glowing. Well, the 2021 24-inch iMac is weaker in terms of its GPU. This is blown out of the water by the AMD Radeon Pro 5300 in the 27-inch iMac, which scores around 37,000, which gives that computer a lot more headroom for intense graphical tasks. We shouldn't get carried away. The 24-inch 2021 iMac is going to be more than good enough for most purposes. And many graphics designers will appreciate its slick design and responsive performance. It places very honorably indeed in our number 2 spot. And number 1. iMac 27-inch. The iMac 27-inch 2020 still stands tall as the best choice of Apple computer for graphic designers. In our opinion, anyway. There are newer options out there, some of which you'll meet on this list very shortly. But the large screen and discrete graphics card of the iMac make it a superb choice for graphic designers. And the newer models also mean that its price has come down a little. There's a reason that iMacs are so enduringly popular among professional designers. They just do everything you need them to. Even if it doesn't sport one of Apple's swanky M1 processing chips. The 27-inch iMac still does very well with its 10th generation Intel Core processors, providing more than enough computing power for pretty much any design task. The processing barely stutters, even if you've got no shortage of other programs and tasks running while doing your design work. The slim design also impressed us. The iMac incurs minimal clutter, and having one doesn't mean a mess of cables everywhere. Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.